You're the evil man, and I'm the righteous man. And Mr. 9mm here, he's the shepherd protecting my righteous ass in the valley of darkness. Or it could mean, you're the righteous man, and I'm the shepherd. And it's the world that's evil and selfish.
If you're a fan of Tarantino, then you know that his films often feature graphic violence, which has often been criticized. Well, we do live in an opinionated world where people get easily offended after all. Because of his portrayal of violence, some of his films, such as Reservoir Dogs, got banned from places such as the United Kingdom because of its use of torture as entertainment. Despite all the negativity, Tarantino has often defended on-screen violence because it affects audiences in a big way. Another major trademark of his is his blending of aesthetics within a live-action film sequence, and in some cases even using cartoon or anime imagery. Still remaining within his signature trademarks is the use of non-linear story structures, most notably in Pulp Fiction, Reservoir Dogs, Kill Bill, and The Hateful Eight. Critics now describe this type of story structure as the Tarantino effect. He is also known to create his own products and brands that he uses inside of his films. Some of the fictional brands that he has created include Acuna Boys Tex-Mex, Food Big Kahuna Burger, Go Juice, K-Billy, Teriyaki Donut, and, well, many more. Usually these type of brands are used to replace the use of product placement, or sometimes just as a humorous extent. Tarantino is also known for his choice of music in his films, including soundtracks that often use songs from the 60s and 70s. With all of that being said, let's delve into his career from the 2000s to current times. And if you haven't done so already, well, be sure to check the previous video I made on Tarantino, as it follows his career from the 80s to the 90s. In the early 2000s, Tarantino had planned to start work on Inglorious Basterds, but was postponed to write and direct Kill Bill, which is a highly stylized revenge flick in the cinematic traditions of Wuxia Chinese martial arts, Jidaigeki, Japanese period cinema, spaghetti westerns, and Italian horror. Kill Bill was actually conceived during production of the 1994 film Pulp Fiction, and is an idea that originated between Quentin Tarantino and Uma Thurman. The script was written in 2000 to 2001 while he was living in New York City, spending time with Uma Thurman and her newborn baby. Having reunited with Uma years after Pulp Fiction was released influenced the way he wrote the bride character in Pulp Fiction. Tarantino didn't realize that the bride's child in the film could still be alive until the last 4 to 5 months of the writing process. The movie tells the story of a former assassin known simply as the Bride, who wakes up from a coma 4 years after her jealous ex-lover attempts to murder her on her wedding day. Fueled by boiling desire for revenge, she vows to get even with every person who contributed to the loss of her unborn child. After writing down a hit list, the Bride sets off on her quest to eliminate everyone on it. This movie was originally set for a single theatrical release, but because of its 4-hour running time, Quentin divided it into 2 movies. Volume 1 was released in late 2003, and Volume 2 was released in 2004. During that same time period between 2002 to 2004, Tarantino was cast as the character of McKenna Cole on the show Alias. This show tells the story of an all-American college girl and super spy, Sydney Bristow. Living a triple life as a double agent, she struggles to keep her career a secret from her friends and family. Tarantino's character of McKenna Cole is a former operative for SD6 that pretends to be part of the CIA and states its objective as retrieval and study of intelligence, both military and industrial, through the world that is critical to the survival of the United States of America. In the series, he defects from SD6 to work for the Man. The latter assumes a leading position in the Covenant, which is a large, powerful, and secretive intelligence organization. In 2005, Tarantino co-wrote and directed the 2-episode season finale for the TV crime drama CSI: Crime Scene Investigation. In this episode, Agent Nick gets kidnapped, and all ransom attempts for his release fail. The CSI team must use their investigative talents to find Nick, whose situation is becoming more horrific by the minute. These 2 episodes led Tarantino to be nominated for the Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Directing for a Drama Series at the 57th Primetime Emmy Awards. After his short venture into television, Quentin Tarantino started work on Grindhouse, which he co-directed with Robert Rodriguez. Well, co-directing is actually a big word because Grindhouse is actually comprised of two completely separate films: Planet Terror directed by Rodriguez and Death Proof directed by Tarantino. Both films pay homage to an array of 1970s exploitation films in the now non-existent Grindhouse theaters. In an homage to this type of theater, each film is headlined by fictional trailers of the same genre. Planet Terror by Rodriguez revolves around a group of rebels attempting to survive an onslaught of zombie-like creatures as they feud with a rogue military unit. This section of the movie was very enjoyable. As for Tarantino's Death Proof, it tells the story of stuntman Mike, who is a professional body double who likes to torture unsuspecting women by taking them for deadly drives in his free time. Having modified his car for maximum impact, Mike purposefully creates wrecks, and as the bodies pile up, he walks away with barely a scratch. His mischievous intent to kill more women is halted as he targets a group of tough female friends, including the real-life stuntwoman Zoe Bell, who was Uma Thurman's double in Kill Bill. Personally, I didn't enjoy too much this movie as I felt that it was very far away from any of his other films and was missing the intricate storylines of his previous movies. I did enjoy the fact that he did something different and was willing to explore so many car stunts. Also, Zoe Bell, who is originally a stunt woman, did a good job acting with some pretty cool scenes, including a really interesting no-cut dialogue scene as the group of girls are talking around the table as the camera is spinning around them. In 2009, Tarantino was finally able to release his movie Inglorious Basterds. He had started writing the script in 1998 and stopped working on it as he couldn't find a good way to end it. In many interviews, Tarantino has stated that his writing process is like writing a novel before formatting it into a script, saying that this creates the blueprint of the film and makes the film feel like literature. As for Inglorious Basterds, the story is set in the first year of Germany's occupation of France. Allied officer Lieutenant Aldo Rain assembles a team of Jewish soldiers to commit violent acts of retribution against the Nazis, including scalping them. He and his men joined forces with Bridget von Hammersmark, a German actress and undercover agent, to bring down the leaders of the Third Reich. Their fates converge with theater owner Shosanna Dreyfus, who seeks to avenge the Nazis' execution of her family. In 2011, production began on Django Unchained, which takes place 2 years before the Civil War, where a slave named Django finds himself accompanying an Orthodox German bounty hunter named Dr. King Schultz on a mission to capture the vicious Brittle brothers. After successfully completing the mission, Schultz frees Django, and together they hunt the South's most wanted criminals. Through their travels, they arrive in the plantation of Shady Calvin Candy, where Django's long-lost wife is still a slave. This movie stemmed from Tarantino's desire to produce a spaghetti western set in America's Deep South. Quentin proposed a style and dubbed it a Southern, stating that he wanted to do movies that dealt with America's horrible past, but to do them in a specific film genre, and not like big issue movies. In many ways, he felt that America has never dealt with these issues because they are ashamed of their history. Obviously, enjoying the whole Western era, Tarantino's next movie was The Hateful Eight. After his script got leaked, Tarantino said he was considering not making the movie anymore and publishing it as a novel instead. After 2 more rewrites, including a different ending and a live reading of the leaked first draft of the script at the United Artists Theater in the Ace Hotel, Los Angeles, Tarantino actually got back to making the movie, and The Hateful Eight was released on December 25, 2015. This movie tells the story of bounty hunter John, the hangman Ruth, his fugitive prisoner, another bounty hunter, and a man who claims to be a sheriff. While taking a carriage toward the town of Red Rock, they find themselves stuck in a blizzard. Hoping to find shelter, the group travels to a stagecoach located on a mountain pass. Greeted by 4 strangers, the 8 travelers soon learn that they may not make it to their destination after all. The movie wasn't a big hit, but got decent reviews from critics. As for myself, I enjoyed the movie somewhat, but it really felt like a play since the locations are so minimal and the dialogues are so long. It's sometimes strange to think that something that got filmed on 70mm and should look epic actually felt like an enjoyable piece of theater that would probably have done better on the stage as opposed to the big screen. In 2017, Tarantino announced that he was working on his next project that would be a film about the Manson family murders. This is the project that would eventually be named Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which tells the story of actor Rick Dalton, who gained fame and fortune by starring in many 1950s television westerns, but is now struggling to find meaningful work in a Hollywood that doesn't know who he is anymore. He spends most of his time drinking and parlaying around with his easygoing best friend and longtime stunt double, Cliff Booth. Rick also lives next door to Roman Polanski and Sharon Tate, the filmmaker and actress whose future will be forever altered by members of the Manson family. This movie was originally attached to the Weinstein Company, but after all the allegations, he severed all ties with them and had to look for another distribution company. The movie premiered at Cannes in 2019 and received a 7-minute standing ovation, but also received mixed reviews regarding the ending of the film. Well, that's it for Tarantino and my 2-part retrospective on his career. On a final note, Tarantino has said that he plans to retire from filmmaking when he turns 60 in order to focus on writing novels and film literature. He says that he is skeptical of the film industry going digital and also stated that he has a plan to retire after making his 10th movie. In his words, "If I get to the 10th, do a good job and don't screw it up, well, that sounds like a good way to end the old career." Well, if we count Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2 as one movie, then Quentin Tarantino has directed 9 films as of 2020. His next movie should be his last, right? And in 2023, he will turn 60. Well, I guess we'll have to see what the future holds for him, but I have a feeling that he'll direct more than 10 movies. I guess we'll have to wait and see. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Please be sure to subscribe and hit the like button. It really helps my channel. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.